San Diego. Welcome to the Nightly News. I'm your host, Aubrey Butcher, and tonight on our environmental segment, we will be speaking with President George W. Bush. Looks like we have a few interesting topics for the night.
We sure do. Let's go ahead and get this party started, Aubrey.
Okay, well, first of all, in February 2004, your budget cut funding for protection of endangered species by almost $10 million.
We absolutely did. We did what we needed to do. That's why we did it. Now, what exactly is the point here?
Oh, nothing. I was just wondering why that's the lowest budget you've made for endangered species in your whole presidency.
Well, as you already know, Aubrey, we have more important things to worry about than the environment and these little animals you call friends. I don't think so. We don't have time for them. We need this money to spend things on more important things. Like natural disaster money. We need that. We gotta find Katrina. I still don't know where she is. Gotta track her down and find her.
Okay, I see. You're just trying to do what's best for our country.
Precisely.
Alright, next, what were your motives in trying to nullify the decade-old rule of timber cutting in the Forestry Service?
I'm sorry now, what's the Forestry Service? I don't know what you're talking about.
You tried to change the policy in September of 2004 from ensuring that viable populations of fish and animals are maintained that was started in the Reagan administration.
Alright, I understand Ronald Reagan created this whole policy, but he's been gone for years. I don't know why we're talking about him.
Exactly, but why would you want to change such an old rule?
Well, my policy here is out with the old, in with the new. There's really no reason or rhyme about it. I do what I do, and that's how it's done.
Okay, so you're saying we should get rid of old species?
Sure.
Wow. Well, what do you have to say about the 50,000 new natural gas wells that you have set construction for in southeastern Montana and northeastern Wyoming?
Well, let me tell you something about those natural gas wells. What we did with them, we put them, we put them right next to national parks like Yellowstone. And the reason we did that is because nobody lives there, and if nobody lives there, the oil is good there. That's why we did it.
Perfect, huh? Well, what about all the pollutants, especially air pollutants that will be emitted into all these national parks?
Not quite sure what you're talking about. Air pollutants stay in the air. We're talking about in the national parks.
Alright, now we're going to take a quick commercial break.
God bless America.
It's always nice to get a nice hot double mushroom Swiss burger in your hands, you know what I mean?
You know why it's so warm?
Because they just made it when we ordered it.
Mushrooms are a natural source of heat. They'll just burst right into flame. That's what causes forest fires.
I think forest fires are caused by people leaving out fires, a lot of dry wood sitting around.
Near a mushroom.
Double mushroom Swiss burger. New at Sonic. 2 patties, 2 slices of Swiss, all smothered in a savory mushroom sauce. Sonic's new double mushroom Swiss burger. Buy a reloadable My Sonic card today.
These here are what we got. These are called trees. I'm George W. Bush, and I approve this message.
So, this is my friend Frank and his, retirement plan.
1 golden crown.
Come on, Frank, how long have we known each other? Go to E-Trade. They got killer tools, man. They'll help you nail a retirement plan that's fierce.
2 golden crowns.
You realize the odds of winning are the same as being mauled by a polar bear and a regular bear in the same day?
Frank!
Oh, wow, you didn't win? I want to show you something. It's my shocked face.
Get a retirement plan that works at E-Trade.
Alright, moving on. Later that year, in November, your administration decided against the removal of several dams on the Columbia...
Whoa, wait a minute. Watch your language here. There's children watching.
Oh, excuse me, sir. Anyways, on the Columbia and Snake Rivers, the removal of these dams would have made a more natural environment for 11 endangered species of salmon and steelhead.
Didn't realize I had such a potty mouth here. But anyway, I understand what you're saying, but do you realize how important these dams are to the fish? You may think it's better without the dams for the fish. It's not. Think about how deep it is in those dams. Those fish love deep water. It's like a big swimming pool for them. They love it all.
Oh, I sure hope fish love to swim. Okay, well, moving on. Lastly, I was going to ask you about the opt-out plan that you had in March of 2005 regarding 58,000 industrial facilities not having to comply with the Clean Air Act. But now I see that you neither have any regard for nature or enough knowledge about the subject to answer any of my questions.
I thank you for that, Aubrey. I really do appreciate that.
No, thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
For those of you listening at home, let this be a lesson to you. Ignorance in politics can play a large role on our effect in Earth's biosphere and air quality. Also, I must note that all of these environmental factors are interconnected and depend on each other. What we do now will determine what we have tomorrow. Thank you and good night. What was the deal with that?
I'll tell you what we're going to do.
Okay, moving on. Later that year, in November, your administration decided against the removal of several dams in the Columbia and Snake Rivers.
Watch your mouth.
The removal... What's the cause of this?
There's not necessarily a cause. We just wanted to cut the money. We didn't have much reason or rhyme to it, or rhyme or reason, however that's said. Either way, what's your point you're getting at here, Aubrey?
Nothing, I was just wondering why you cut so much money, because in the past we had a code. Good evening, San Diego. Tonight on the Nightly News, we will be talking to President George Bush. I'm your host, Aubrey Butcher, and we're also doing the environmental segment tonight. So, President Bush, could you please come out from behind the bush, please?
Oh, yeah, sure, absolutely. What can I do for you, Aubrey?
Oh, well, we were just wondering about the new policy that you enacted in February of 2004, where you cut a lot of budget money, almost $10 million from the Endangered Species Program.
You're right, it was a new budget policy, and we did the best we can, but I don't see what the point is that you're trying to get at here.
Nothing, just I was wondering why you cut so much money. It's the lowest it's been in your whole presidency.
I understand, I see. Well, you know, we really got to get that money for other things. You know what I'm saying, Aubrey? We got to have it for more important things like Iraq, and if we have any devastating things like Katrina, we got to have money to find her. You know what I'm saying? All right, go ahead. No?
Yes, sir. I see you were just trying to do the best thing for our country. Okay, moving on.
Precisely.
It's a really old a really, really old issue, and I just screwed that up. Alright, next, we are going to ask you about your decision in trying to nullify the decade-old rule of timber cutting in the Forest Service.